most people are still stuck in the first funnel. Most people are stuck in like, oh, I'll just buy it, and they. If you look at all the statistics, yeah, there might be 500 million people that have some exposure to Bitcoin, but how many people have then exposure to self-custody? So most people, like if we have, there are many statistics out there, like there are 500, 400 million Bitcoin users. And I would argue those are all stuck in the first pillar. Then it's like, okay, how many have succeeded in the second pillar, where we have the self-custody and running their own node? This is a far smaller number. If we take a very optimistic approach and say, with all the hidden nodes, maybe there are 60,000 or 80,000 or 100,000, then how many people actually do self-custody? Like, I don't think that many. Like, I don't think that number is huge. And then how many people are actually talking about it? I carry lists on Twitter where I categorize just like who's a Bitcoiner and who's talking about it regularly. That list is under 1,000 people, and I search every single day because I need guests and I need great people to be on the podcast 365 times a year. So I have an incentive to actually search for people and find new people, and I update quite regularly. So this is where I feel like that's why we don't have a lot of nodes, just because the second pillar is not the most important one for 99% of people in Bitcoin. 99% of percent in people in Bitcoin have some, I don't know, $5,000 on Coinbase. They might have like $10,000 in an ETF account. They maybe have some IBIT thing going on, and they might have something on Kraken or Binance laying around. This is like most Bitcoiners, that is not even a big number, like in the greater scheme of things. So I don't know. I hope we just have to, all those people that come in, and that's the important message that you, Daniel, also like really embody, saying like, we don't want to have bank coin, we want to have Bitcoin, and for that to happen, we need those people that currently only care about number graph technology. We have to filter them into this second pillar of having, hey, you can take self-custody, like it's actually yours then. And if you care about Bitcoin, and if you care about your own privacy and all of your freedom, you should also run a node. And if you get people there, it's amazing. And it's just fascinating how small of a group of people that actually are, which tells me, yeah, we are super duper early.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Huge.
That's the thing. We're still early.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw we had a comment on our channel from last week. Somebody asked the question, like, there's concern about the number of nodes, or, the need for a permissionless decentralized system. And why don't some big whales invest in getting nodes running, getting nodes out there? The question had come up a while ago, I think, when concerns about Core first came up. And it was like, why doesn't Saylor throw some of his untold amounts of wealth towards developers, invest in developers? Similar question could be asked of, hey, if BlackRock can come in and say, hey, you know what? Like you mentioned, Daniel, on a recent podcast, you said, what if BlackRock just decided, we're going to spin up a whole bunch of nodes all over the globe as we want, and not even having to mine, but just running nodes and doing mempool work. Shouldn't whales or Saylor or, big players protect the network at a fundamental level and run nodes? I see a couple of things there. One being that I think a lot of these people in those positions are very careful to, they're doing their resource capture game, of course, but they're also very careful to project certain, vectors of power or control over it all. I think they're being a little egalitarian about their approach. And at another level, I also think that a lot of these whales, as you see Bitcoin sold or you see sailors' incentives, it's often quite fiat as well. They're not thinking about necessarily like, it's kind of like, no, the network runs fine. They're focused on their resource capture game, and it's about number go up. So you see big whales sitting on Bitcoin that you also realize they're selling on exchange in ways that it's like, yeah, they got in early, but they also still don't relate to Bitcoin the way we do. Like you'd think they do, but they don't. So we're early. We're really still early.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there is no financial incentive for them to do that, right? Because they have already got theirs, basically, right? So if you're a whale and you're sitting on 15,000 Bitcoin, like it doesn't really matter what happens to the protocol now. Like you already made yours, right? And if you're the kind of person that went from a nobody to a 100 millionaire, multi-billionaire just by sitting on a fucking coin because you got in early, like the type of psychology that's going to embody in you is going to be very different than someone who is coming to it now. So like the accessible Bitcoin, something like 70% of the accessible Bitcoin is held in like 5,000 wallets, right? So there's this massive wallet concentration that I talked about in the past a long time ago. I go, that's problematic, right? Like, and it's slowly distributing out, but it's distributing from deep pockets to other deep pockets. It's going from whales to ETFs. It's going from whales to sailors. It's going from whales to corporations, and it's going from whales to exchanges, right? So the plebs, the little guy is still running around, swimming behind the whale and trying to collect the plankton that the whale didn't scoop up, right? So at some point, I think that's going to start trickling down somewhat, but not if the network becomes centralized and it becomes Bankcoin and it becomes something where it's just big players trade it as another thing on their books that's sort of protecting them from debasement, right? And it becomes a lot less interesting as a project if that happens. So I think when they look at when they survey the landscape, and I can't speak for any of them, whether it's Sailor or BlackRock or anybody, you go, well, they survey the landscape and they go, well, 15,000 t-shirt stuffing navel pickers are running this network. So we can co-opt it almost at will at any time just by applying moderate pressure. Or they're looking at it and they go, well, it's probably resilient, but if it blows up, it blows up. We don't care. Or they're looking at it like, well, we can enforce whatever thing that Michael Saylor sold us at that one meeting a long time ago, that we just want to keep it that way, whatever that is. So if that means running Core D30, that's what they do. Like they don't care, So there's all this like there's not a lot of incentive for them to go, hey, we really appreciate the freedom aspects and the sovereignty and the sovereign ownership of property, and we really want to support the network so that every little guy in the world has access to sovereign property rights. But to Robin's point, if there's 540 million Bitcoiners, people with Bitcoin exposure on some level, if you can just strip off 1% of them, or even 5% or 0.5%, right? You go, well, that's 2.5 million nodes. And I don't think it's hard to get a 0.5% conversion rate, right? Like if you just take it to a marketing sales angle, you go, we need to convert 0.5% of these people to running a node. And certainly 0.5% of those people are people like you and me who are going like, hey, you know what? There's something more important here than just number go up, or make sure BlackRock has an ETF to run, or Sailor gets to buy more shares, or whatever these fiat shenanigans are doing. There is merit to me firing this up. And so we just need to reach those people effectively and get them to convert. And if there was some sort of incentive in place, like where you could go, hey, there's a financial reward for getting people to spin up a node, I think that would take off tomorrow. But I just don't know how you incentivize what is essentially altruistic behavior. Or someone might frame it as altruistic. I frame it as like picking up a gun and participating in the revolution, right? You go, how do you incentivize people to go risk their life and limb to defend freedom? You go, well, it's a tricky process, right? And it's usually because there's an acute pain point. Right now, people haven't experienced the acute pain point. My fear is that acute pain point will come too late for the people to spin up a node and make a difference. So my thing is like trying to convince people that the pain point has already happened. You're already experiencing the pain. And the way to fix it right now is to go and pick up a gun. And in this case, it means spin up a node, right? And I mean, it's just a tough message. So if I had the answer, I would be parroting it daily, but I don't. The best I've got so far is like, please, for the love of God, run a node. There's only 20,000 people that decide your future of the most important asset ever created by mankind. So that's not enough people to decide where that goes, I think. So
it may be that the financial incentive for people to run a node is built into solo miners, just get a little miner that runs a node and join a pool. And then you are like, I do, Robin does, and you may, Daniel, is like, you can see that, oh, I'm accumulating a little bit. And so not only am I contributing, I'm learning more about, block templates or wherever you want to go into it. But you can see your number go up steadily a little bit. Oh, Ocean got another block, and this little warm kindle in my heart, sparks. And I'm like, I'm contributing. I'm not just running a node, but in the background, right behind me here, I've got like 3 little miners running right now. Yeah. And I'll glance at them and I'll check my little Ocean contribution, and it's like nothing, but also not nothing. So like over months that I've been just running these guys, you can see your contribution and your sats start to stack a little bit. And so that could be the right incentive for people. Like, okay, we can say run a node, but hey, you want a little financial sense of return or skin in the game, run solo miners.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a great like gambling opportunity too. Like if you want to get into like, there are people that call themselves Bitcoiners that will go buy lottery tickets every day. I'm like, there's a way better lottery you can run. You get like one chance every 10 minutes. Just spin up one of those little fucking, like this guy right here, $480 solo miner, like Johnny pointed out. Like that guy spent $480 on lotto tickets and he just minted 300 grand out of fucking thin air, dude. It's like sweet, right? Like,
yeah, so, I love seeing that.
So play the lottery. Like if nothing else, I mean, that's a great point of like, if you want to get people running nodes, just go spin up a miner with a node attached. Like that's why I'm a huge fan of FutureBit, because they include a node with every fucking FutureBit they ship. It's sometimes hard to get them. It's a very expensive way to acquire hash power, because like even those miners you're running, like as 100 Acres Ranch pointed out, he's like, just go buy a used S19. It's the same cost and you get like 50 times the hash power, so you go, well, but I mean, that's a whole different kind of ball of beans to tackle. But still, there's, I mean, if we can appeal to the lottery aspect of it, the gambling aspect, I go, that's great. Awesome. Like, please, go spin up a mine, dude. Like, and you are contributing a trivial amount of hash to the pool. You're never going to like eclipse Mara or fucking, Ant Pool or anything like that. But at least you're part of it. And you've got that, if you're solo mining, like lottery mining, where you're not even going to the pool, you're just like, come on, baby, come on, here we go. We're just gonna roll the dice again. No, okay, how about this one? Like I remember when I was on my FutureBit, I had like this huge share, like it was in the hundreds of billions of my share. I was like, oh my god, I was, I was still 100 miles away from mining a block, but when you see those big, huge shares come in, and you're just like, oh, my share of that block was like fat. Like I almost, if I just keep this thing going, maybe I'll hit that block, and it's like. It's fun, right? Because it's just gambling. It's just like going to Vegas, except you've got Vegas on your desktop all day, every day, running in the background, just rolling dice for you. Like it's kind of a cool thing. So
and you're not
people do it, man. Fuck yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, you're not spending your time feeding a machine $20 bills. It's just you set it up, you learn something, you can forget about it or leave it alone, but you feel like you got some skin in the game. The very fact that a solo miner every once in a while wins the lotto, I love it, because it incentivizes interest. It rewards someone who threw their hat in the ring. And hey, it could be you.
It could be you. Can't win if you don't play.
Yeah. So. And you're helping protect the network a little bit.
A lot. Well, I mean, I think that's probably a great approach. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe microseed in the future, we will spin up nodes and miners, and we'll include one with every microseed and just go, hey, spin up a node. Here's your lotto ticket. Enjoy, and
the 2-part theme of take self-custody and run a node. If out of the box you can do both, that would be the dream.
Yeah, it already is. Well, I mean, that's
Yeah.
why like Solo Satoshi and all those guys, like I think 100 Acres Ranch kind of craps on their head a little bit because they're just breaking up S19s and they're putting them in little packages and they're selling them for a profit, right? And so there was some drama around that I kind of didn't really put too much stock into, but like Bidax and all those guys, like I love it. I love that they're doing that. Like it's awesome. Yeah, please break up old S19s, repurpose the fucking chips and sell people hash. And if you can figure out a way to include a bundle and node with it, you're doing God's work. Because like I think Solo Satoshi's thing is like we want a miner in every house. And I go, well, if you bundle it with a node, then you're doing way more for the network than just having people solo mining or contributing hash to a pool. I think solo mining to your own node is probably one of the best things you can do, because then you're running a node, so you have a vote in what kind of node what software is being implemented on your node. And to the Knott's point, you can go, well, I choose what I'm going to relay on my node, so that's great, good for you, but you're also you get that one in however many chance, depending on how much hash you're running. Like there is some threshold of hash where it's like just about guaranteed you're going to hit a block within a year. And I can't, it's a lot, and that hash is fluctuating and can go up a lot. So you can spend a lot of money on miners and then find out that you don't have competitive hash anymore. So, but all it takes is one block reward to be life changer. So
life changing. Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, there are certain thresholds of hash that you can set up and still be on house electricity and not worry about burning your house down kind of thing, where you can have a reasonable anticipation of hitting a block within 5 years. And it's like, it's not bad, right? Like, I mean, It's an investment. It's probably going to cost you 25 grand and God bless you if you have solar, because otherwise your electric bill is going to make your wife pretty mad, I'm sure. But, I think it's better than running Christmas lights at the holidays and, burning all that electricity for showing off to the neighbors. So hell yeah, spin up a miner.
Have you seen the story where someone in an Airbnb mined Bitcoin?
Oh, really?
And Airbnb is like free electricity basically, and they just spun up a bunch of miners, and the electricity bill for like 2 weeks was tremendously high, and it's like, yeah, like you didn't forbid me to mine Bitcoin, and I was like, oh yeah, like he just goes around, he basically lives for free in the Airbnbs when he does it everywhere.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Didn't violate terms of service.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can figure out how to tap into somebody else's electric bill, that's great, right? So,
and if you're worried about electricity, replace one hot shower with a cold one. It'll probably be healthy for you, and you replace all the electricity you spent on your miner.
Well, I remember when I was still working in an office environment, like literally every single woman in the office was like, it's so cold in here, like constantly, right? And they're running these little under desk heaters, and they're like, oh my God, it's freezing. And it's just constant battles over AC and what the temperature of the office is and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, hey man, if you're cold in the office, you can go buy a FutureBit, put it under your desk, and you can tap right into your employer's electricity bill, and they're not going to know. They're like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, it's a desk heater. Oh, okay, whatever. We don't care. Like, it's just a cost of doing business for us. And I mean, if the FutureBit in eco mode is like running a light bulb all day or something like that, I mean, it's not nothing, but it's not like you're going to bankrupt yourself or something. So yeah, run that, have that under your desk at work, and just let it just spin away. And then you're using your boss's dime to maybe hit a block, right? So that's pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of ways to skin this cat. Like I love the 100 Acres Ranch guy, because he's out there like building like this multi-megawatt solar facility out in the middle of nowhere with like this scavenged shit I mean, I'm surprised the guy hasn't blown himself up, but he's managed. Like, I've watched his journey for a long time, and he's gone from like just like he's got these batteries that are swollen and about to explode, and he's like pumping way too much DC through stuff that shouldn't be. Just like you're crazy, dude. But he's figured it all out, and now he's like selling some pretty cool little kits that like monitor fucking hash power, can adjust hash power on the fly, can help you optimize for solar, generation. And that guy, I think he's pulling in a pretty decent chunk of money just from, like going out and just not asking permission and just like, I'm going to put solar panels out in the middle of the desert, and I'm just going to live in a trailer and be a fucking lunatic and set up miners. And and shit's working. It's awesome. I'm like, yeah, that's the kind of Bitcoiner I want to see more of, is like just crazy motherfuckers that are going out doing stuff. Like that shit's awesome. So
Yeah.
I fully support that guy. If you haven't seen him, it's at 100 Acres Ranch. I'm pretty sure is his handle on Twitter. Just check out what he's doing. He's awesome, great guy, and he's building some really cool shit. And he speaks his mind. He's not afraid to ruffle feathers, and I love what he has to say 99% of the time. So yeah, support that guy's work. He's cool as shit. My hero.
Yeah, he's got an adventure going on. The Space Heater Wars sounds like my office, and
there are
IT
minor space heaters also, like
Yeah, right.
like not only like it just being warm because of mining, but there's like actual, like, how do you call, like Heatbit, and there's like this. There are like a bunch of companies that do that. I have no clue how good they are, but like there's a solution there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. IT might notice internet use, but hell, you could get a spare cell phone and run a hotspot or something. I had a little. Oh well, maybe I have it right here. I've got a little. I'll have to unplug it. I have a little weather clock thing that it's not showing the price right now, but it'll give you the time, it'll give you the weather, and it'll give you the Bitcoin price. So I set that up in my office, and it connects to Wi-Fi, and it just downloads bits of data, for the weather and the Bitcoin price. I had it running in my office for a couple of weeks, and IT shut it down because they saw it as something not ordained that was just sort of streaming. I mean, minimal bandwidth, but it wasn't approved.
Well, the guy that's running your IT department, I met him. He's a really good IT guy, so that's kind of the problem. Like he knows what to look for.
Hyper secure.
Yeah, but if you're part of IBM or you're sitting in the office at General Electric or whatever, and you just happen to want a desk heater, I don't think anybody in the IT department is going to notice that. So what the hell? What is this fucking bandwidth? They're so busy like chasing around, like my printer doesn't work. I can't access email. I downloaded this link and I clicked on it because it said I needed to update the spreadsheet. And now all the computers are shut down. Like they're all dealing with that kind of shit, But the guy in your ID department, he's really good, and I think he's on top of that stuff. So.
Someone might be. Yeah, I mean, employees that stream little ESPN sports updates or whatever, and it's like, no, not allowed.
Yeah.
It's good security, and it's appropriate policy, you might say, for a government workplace. But I mean, most workplaces don't care. Hey, right. Travis, welcome.
Is Travis here?
Travis just joined.
Dude, there's only 10 minutes left. Why don't you hop on and give us some strong opinions about something?
Travis, what's happening? Yeah, so run a node, take self-custody, and don't get distracted by the noise. But hey, it's a good season to go back to school. And if you've got opinions and you're like, hey, do some studying, learn a little bit before you start keyboard warrior.
Well, I have a sneaking suspicion if anybody actually watches this podcast, which, I think historically speaking is relatively low. I mean, we get a few hundred views or whatever, but I have a sneaking suspicion if anyone watches the first part of it, they're going to be like, what? You guys are freaking spam apologists, or you guys are this, you guys even though I think the tone of our discussion was very neutral. Just kind of like, well, there's a lot to it. Think about it. The most important thing you can do is run a node. I did make fun of coders and, call them like people that tuck their t-shirts in their underwear, but whatever. I mean, like,
you're so inflammatory.
I know I'm being so inflammatory,
but as Johnny said, soapbox is our free speech and we enjoy our soapbox here. And we're also moderate in the sense that it is way more important that people run nodes than to take a strong side that you may or may not be completely right about, and yet you, for not good reasons necessarily, but you ostracize half of the debate. And we're not about the division. It's about protect the network.
Decentralized, permissionless.
What is a soapbox?
Oh, soapbox is like if you're if you have a political rant or something like that, you stand up on a soapbox. Like they used to have these little boxes that were made of wood that soap came in, and so you'd stand on the soapbox so you could elevate yourself from the crowd and go, "We need to ban the British flag from our soil, or we need to, or so you're standing on a soapbox and you're pushing an idea, right?
The First Amendment, any man on the street, and I mean, you can go downtown in a city or New York or whatever, and call them crazy or whatever, but everybody has that right to haul up their soapbox on the street corner, stand in a public square, and shout to nobody if you want, and that's your right. So,
well, it's one of the really cool things about London. Like, I'm pretty sure it's Trafalgar Square. Like, you'll still see those guys barking to this day, and I mean, they'll be out there in a top hat with tails and just like, we need to, and they'll be talking about Jesus or the war or immigration, whatever. It's like it's a tradition there, and I mean, that was back before Twitter, obviously, right? So nowadays the soapbox is Twitter. And unfortunately, that's governed by an algorithm. Like the algorithm in the public square is people go, that guy sounds like an idiot. And they move on, The public square now is like someone going, hey, you might not think this guy's an idiot. Listen to what he's saying because he's going to piss you off. And you go, hey, that guy really pissed me off. I'm going to go listen some more. And I'm going to go engage more. And the algorithm goes, thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Please be angry. Get angry.
I have one more message to that, because I think we say like this running your own full node and running like doing self-custody. I think weirdly enough, it's extremely important that people actually engage with the community actively and go purposely to an in-person conversation, an in-person meetup, be it a small meetup locally, be it a conference, be it something in those realms. Because I do think those meetups, those conferences lift people up, so they are then also pushing self-custody, and they are pushing then also running their own full node. Because it kind of, maybe it's just because this is my story, because of those conferences and those meetups, I was like, I also want to be more associated with the community, and I actually want to be something in the community. And I think if we get more people to actually show up in person, to actually be engaged in the community, naturally we'll have more people that care about the second pillar. So like for me, as I said before, it's like the first, second, and third pillar. If we have many people actually in the third pillar in the community active, we automatically have people active in the freedom aspect, and this makes the whole thing better. So I don't know, maybe it's just me ranting about it, but I really like when people show up in person to meetups or to conferences.
Thank you for watching this video. This is just a short clip from our full episode. So if you'd like to enjoy more entertaining wisdom found in our podcasts in their full context, just click a link in the corner. We are always sharing our big ideas on Bitcoin Liberty Live.